Today our topic is general business management application. So, in which we want to calculate few things related to marketing, some things related to accounting, and all these things. So, let's start with our topic. And what we have to do first, we want to know how to calculate percentage changes, and then we talk about ratios and proportions. So on a daily basis we use basic calculations like averages. We calculate averages with respect to our sales, and especially the students calculating average on their grades, and many more things like temperature. When we are talking about the average temperature of the day, uh, although there is a difference between the morning and the evening temperature, but we are talking about on in most of the times we are talking about the average, like price increase, price decrease, and these things are considered in the percentages or averages. Then percentage change is another calculation we normally do, that how much the change is from one point of observation to another point of observation, and that change is represented in terms of percentages. That's what we call it as a percentage change. So we're going to also talk about that. Ratios and proportions, like we calculate ratios and relationship between the two variables, and we calculate these relationships in a proportional basis. So, like any investor or a business person invest successfully, you must also apply these basic concepts. And management examines historical average daily sales to predict future sales and to schedule the employee who will service these sales. Human resource managers continually calculating ratios between accounting and performance data to assess how efficiently our labor is being used. So this is the first thing what we want to learn here is how to calculate percentage change. Now the this is a very standard formula for calculating percentage change. We represent this change by the symbol delta. So delta percentage means we are calculating percentage change. Now how we can calculate? So as I mentioned that we want to calculate the percentage change between 2 point observations, or observations of two different points. So there is a new point and the old one. So we will see that how much is the percentage change. So how do we calculate? New value, whatever it is, it can be a temperature, it can be a speed, it can be a price, minus old observation divided by the old observation in 200. That is a very standard formula for calculating uh, percentage change. In economics, when we want to calculate price elasticities, we calculate there as well percentage change in price as well as percentage change in volume. Uh, there we use another method which we call it as a midpoint method, in which we change the denominator. Why I'm pointing out here? Because when we go there, when you learn principles of microeconomics, and you realize that we are using a very little bit different formula as compared to this general standard formula. So the objective of doing there for taking an average is that the price movement is from up higher price to lower price, or from lower price to a higher price. It should be give us the same result in percentage changes if we are not using a midpoint formula. So that's the reason that we gonna use different formula in percentage changes in economics, but here we are using very standard one. So for example, we can solve it here, these two examples, in order to understand this what is percentage change. So in 19 the first example is in 1982, the percentage price of a new car sold in Canada was 10,668. By 2009, the average price of a new car has increased to 25,683. By what percentage has the price of a new car changed over the year? Now, we know if we highlight the information given, so this one is a old price of the car, and it was in 1982. And this is the new price according to this data. This is the new price, and it is in 2009. And what we want to calculate, percentage change. So if I want to calculate percentage change, so new value minus old value divided by old value into 100. So if I take you back, and we see here that the new value is 25,000, and I can see 25,683 minus old value is 10,000 668 divided by 10,668 into 100, and by this way if you calculate it, you will get it a percentage change, which is 140.748%. So it's more than 100%. It means that it more than double. So we see here, how do we calculate these percentage changes? The second question, if we read, when you purchase a retail item, the tax increases the price of the product, and if you buy a 799 and Bowflex Classic Home Gym Machine in Ontario, it is subject to 13% HST. What amount do you pay for the Bowflex, including taxes? So what we want to find out? We want to find out a new price. What we do? We want to find out a new price. Now percentage change, that is going to be the price with and without tax is 13%. So we know this. The formula we're going to use again the same. This is the first example. The second example I'm doing here. So the second example is that we are changing how much? It's a 0.13, because that's a 13% change. We want to find out the new price, and old price is given like 799 and divided by 7 okay, so 799 into 100, right? So if we calculate it, we can write it here. If we are not multiplying, we can write it here, this one in percentages as well, like 13%, or we can eliminate. So 799, so we get it, the price is 902.87. That is the price including tax, and this is what we calculated in case of a percentage change. So these are the two examples I want to discuss with you from this perspective. Let's move on to see that how we can calculate the rate of change over time. Rate of change is something different as compared to the percentage change. The formula for calculating rate of change over time measure the percentage change in a variable per time. So we can see here that we are using a very different formula, n under root new value divided by old value minus 1 into 100. That is rate of change over time. So this is a percentage change that express the quantity is changing per time period. It recognizes that any change in one period reflects the change in the next period. So this way we can see here, and here is an example like we want to discuss this in case of calculating ROC or rate of change. ROC or rate of change. So let's see that how it's work using the Toronto CMA information, where the population grew from 4.263759 million in 1996 to 5.13113,149 in 2006. Calculate the annual percentage growth in the population. So you want to find out the ROC, rate of growth, or a rate of change over this period, which is about of 10 years, like 1996 to 2006, right? So how we can do this? We have to apply the formula what is given here, and when we apply, we want to find out ROC, ROC, and the formula is saying under root, and here is going to 10 because the time period is 10 and is 10 here, and the new value is 5.5113149 divided by 426 and 759 into 100. So when you solve it, you can get it the value which is like the population is increasing per year by 1.8332% growth in Toronto area. So true divided by 8.3 per year. It's a per year. So that's a point important to note. It's not telling us about the change of population from 1996 to 2006. It is giving us the rate at which the population is growing per year over this 10-year period. So that's the difference between the percentage change and rate of change. So this is all what we want to talk about change. So in change, what we learn two things. One is a percentage change, and the other one is a rate of change. Now averages, and as I mentioned in the beginning, that most of the time we are talking in figures or things in terms of averages. So average is a single number that represents the middle of a data set. It is commonly interpreted as a typical value or a mean value. Now averages are of many different types. One is a simple average. In a simple average, all individual data share the same weightage or a same value in the data, or a same level of importance in determining the typical value. Weighted average, in this case, each data has a different weight, and how do we calculate it? We calculate it by multiplying through their weights, and then we add up and get it the weighted average. Geometric average finds the typical value of a set of a number that are meant to be multiplied together or are exponential in nature. So these are the things we can focus on. Now here's an example, like first quarter sales for Buzz Electronics are as follows indicated in the table. Months are January, February, March, and we have a sales for 2 years like 2013 and 2014, and we see these first quarter sales for Buzz Electronics. Martha needs to prepare a report for the board of directors comparing year to year quarterly performance. To do this, she needs to calculate the following. Calculate the average sales in the quarter for each year. Express the 2014 sales as a percentage of 2013 sales, rounding your answer to two decimals. So that's our first question we want to do. So how we can do this? We have to add up all our sales for 2013 and 2014 for the quarter. So when you add up like a 413, 200, 328, 987, and plus 3 and 350, 003, so we can get it a total of how much we get the total. Like this is our example 1, and we are summing up the 2013 sales for first quarter, and that's going to be giving us 1 million and 092 and 189, and same is the case with the summation. Well, how many number of months in it? It's a 3. So we have to divide this for a simple average. Simple average. We divide this 1,092,189 by 3. So we get it. The average is 364,0 263. So that's our simple average in 2013. And for 2014, like we can do this summation of 2014 sales is going to be 1,103,235, and when we divide it with the 3 we get it like 367 and 745. So this is for 2014, this is for 2013, and the B part is saying that you have to find out the ratio, and the ratio is percentage ratio, and that is we divide the 13 of 2014, so 2014 over 2013 into 100, or a new value in overall value. So it's a 367,745 divided by 36. It's dark in color and it's below this point. It's not possible to write it. So for that reason, 63 into 100. So we get the value which is 101.01%. That is a proportion or percentage in increase in sales. So if we go back and we want to do the second question, which is B here. So what the saying is that we want to calculate the weighted average. So here we see that there are different subjects, and each subject has a different credit hours, and credit hours are the weight we can give to these courses. So economics 100 has a credit hour of 4 hours, and math is 5 hours, marketing 3, communication 4, and computing 3, accounting 4, and we know that the grade points here as well, like A, B, C, and D. And so what we can do is we can create so I don't know why we have a space here. No, so here I'm gonna do, and then we will so how we can calculate the weights. So how many grade points like we have, like this student has so this is our second example. So this student has grade points, and then we have a credit hours, right? So how we can do this, like for economics, economics 100, the grade is B, like it's a B grade, and with the B grade this the grade point is 3 and the credit is 4. Similarly for math 100, math 100, this guy has a grade, and A grade means 4 grade point, the credit hours are 4. And marketing 100, the grade is B plus, and B plus has a weightage of grade point is of 3.5, and the credit hours is 3. Communication 100, C grade, the grade points 2 and the credit is 4. And similarly computing and accounting, the grade is A plus, 100, and the grade is A plus, so 4.5 and the credit is 3. And then we have accounting 100, grade is D, it's a 1 grade point, and the credit is 4. So if we want to find out the weighted sum, this we call as weighted sum of weighted x. So we have to multiply this 3 into 4 plus 4 into 5 plus 3.5 into 3 plus 2 into 4 plus 4.5 into 3 plus 1 into 4. So if you all these add up, it's going to be 23. And it's going to be 68. Sorry, 68. It's going to be 68. And these grade credit hours are 23. So what is an average? Weighted average. Weighted average is going to be 68 divided by 23. So we get it like 2.96 weighted average for this student with these grades. So this is our all weighted average solution like this for this one. The course do not carry equal weights as they have a different credit hours. Therefore, to calculate the GPA, you must find a weighted. So this is the way that we calculate the GPAs, and now you can understand how the university is calculating GPA for you guys. That's important to understand. So the next one is weighted average, geometric average. So here we see that from 2006 to 2010, WestJet year over year annual revenues changed by plus 21.47, plus 19.89, minus 10.55%, and 14.38%. This reflects growth from sales of 1.75 billion in 2006 to 2.609 billion in 2010. So what we have to do, we have to calculate a geometric average. How we can do this geometric average? So geometric average. So how much years are? 4 years. And we take an under root in which we take these percentage changes plus 1 and they multiply with each other. So plus 1 plus what is the percentage? It's a 0.2147 multiplied by 1 plus 0.1989 into 1 minus 0.1055 into, so this continue this under root is going to be 1 plus 0.1438, 1.38. So when you calculated this one, you get it the value which is 10.483%. That is our geometric average. Note that the number reflects a percentage change in revenue. So year to year changes are multiplied together. So you would like to calculate a geometric average, and we calculated here as a geometric average. So now our topic is ratios, proportions, and prorating. Prorating is ratios are very simple, over one value over the other, and proportions are like if it is a one proportion and with respect to this how much we are having the other variable. But prorating means that if you deposit your fee and you want to withdraw your course after a week, so maybe there is some deductions. These deductions are based on the time you take to make a decision. If you apply for a membership in a gym and the gym has a policy to refund prorating, so it means that if you deposit the money for a year, but after 3 months you decide not to go to that particular gym, so you apply for refund. So what they're gonna do? They're gonna deduct the quarter fee and refund you the remaining 3/4 fee. So this is the way what we call it as a prorating. So a ratio is a fixed relationship between two or more quantities, amount or sizes of the similar nature. For a ratio to exist, all terms involved in the ratio must be non-zero. So zero is not gonna possible to calculate. If zero is in a denominator, it is zero, but if it is in a numerator, then it's going to be infinite. So by this way we are not going to get any value. So for that reason we say that ratios with a zero is not possible to calculate. Proportion is a statement of equality between two ratios, just as we have been both algebraic expression and algebraic equation. So these are ratios and proportions. The process of prorating is the taking of a total quantity and allocating or distributing it proportionately. So these are the three examples in order to understand this whole idea of prorating. And you see we're gonna do these all three examples: ratios and proportions and prorating. So the first one, let's start with the first one. A recent article reported that companies in an industry were averaging an operating profit of 23,000 per 10 full-time employees. A marketing manager want to estimate the operating profitability for one of her company's competitors, which employs 87 full-time employees. What is an estimated what is an estimated operating profit or a P for the other company, right? So that's the what we want to calculate. So it's simple, it's not so difficult. So first step is that we are saying that uh, 23,000 profit against 10 employees. Then how much is going to be profit with 87 employees? So these are employees and these are the profits. These are the ratio. The ratio between in the research reflects that 23,000 is the profit with the 10 employees. How much profit will be for 87 employees? So we can find out the number of or a profit based on one employee, right? And then we write it P over 87. So we can find out the P, and the P is going to be 87 into 2300. So 2300 into 87, and that is going to be how much? 200,100. This is the profit of a company having 87 employee. So this is our first question. The second question is saying in preparing for a party, Brandon needs to mix a punch consisting of a fruit juice, vodka, and 7-Up in the ratio of 5:3:2 respectively. So it means that 5 cups or liters of water juice, fruit juice, and 3 liters of vodka and 2 liters of 7-Up. That is the composition or proportion of these three drinks into make a punch. So if Brandon has a 2 liters of vodka, how much fruit juice or 7-Up must be used to figure it out this one? So we can write it like this. This one, in a proportion way, like we can write it the proportion. First, what is a their proportional of mixture is 5 proportion 3 proportion 2. And in this case what they need to know, we have to make it very clear that the proportions are very consistent. So fruit juice, vodka, and 7 up, right? So fruit juice we want to know. So sorry, we want to know. So and then we can write it like F proportion. Vodka, we know that how much it is, 2 liters. And we also want to know 7 up, so we can write it 7 up, or we can write U as well if you want. So we know that we can figure it out as or what we call it as a 7 up over 3. uh, you know what is the proportion here? So one proportion is 5 ratio 3 and f ratio 2. So 5 over 3 is equal to f over 2. So if we want to find out f is going to be how much? 3.33 liters fruit juice. And we know that the proportion between the vodka and the 7 up is 3 by 2. So we can write 2 by 7 up, and we can solve it like 4 over 3, 4 over 3, that's a 7 up, so which is 1.333. So what will be the solution for this is 3.33 proportion 2 proportion 1.33. That is the proportion of mixtures of these things in order to get it the same punch. The third one, you paid your annual car insurance premium of 1,791 on a Ford Mustang GT. After 5 complete months, you decide to sell your vehicle and use the money to cover your school expenses. Assume no fee or other deductions from your insurance agency. How much your annual insurance premium should you receive as a refund? Now, very simple. This one is, I'm going to divide this slightly to solve this third one. We paid, how much is the amount we paid? 1,791 for 12 months. And we use for 5 months, right? And we used for 5 months. So how we can figure it out, that how much is the refund? 1,791 divided by 12 multiplied by 5, that is going to be our refund. We get a refund of how much is the refund? So if I use my calculator, where is the calculator? Just hold on. So I want to divide 1,791 divided by 12, and then we multiply this figure with 5. No, that's we are not using for 7 months. So sorry, we have to multiply for 7 if we want to find refund. If we find how much we use, we have to multiply by 5. So we have to multiply with the 7, so it's going to be refund is of 1,004 44.75. That's a refund. If we want to find out refund, we have to multiply it with the 7, because 7 months are left. So this is all what we want to discuss in this part of our lecture, and please stay tuned, and we cover the remaining portion of the topic 2. Thank you.